this is Dr. Bertha Ayi, still talking about breast cancer. We're going pink for breast cancer, but it's not just the pinkness. We want to talk about screening for breast cancer because screening saves lives, and I'm about to prove to you why screening saves lives. You normally screen for a disease when it's not showing us a disease yet, but you're actually going to look for it because you have a plan in mind. You want to make sure you save a person's life. So there are different stages of breast cancer. We already talked about stage 0, and I will not stop emphasizing it. Stage 0 is when you have the cancer sitting within the duct, and it's not at the point where you can even see it. This is stage 0. Don't forget stage 0. Then you have stage 1, where the cancer cells have left the duct. At that point, about 2% of women will still die from stage 1 breast cancer. Screening mammograms would pick these up because on the mammogram, the radiologist will be able to see something that's very abnormal. You'll see little microcalcifications or calcium deposits, which are actually things within the breast cancer. There are many things that they look for. If cancer gets to stage 2, where it's now going to multiple lymph nodes, the death rate is about 15%. Once it gets to distant metastases, death rate is over 70%. Only 28% of women in that group will survive. Why do we have to let it get there when there are mammograms all around us for us to perform them? If you are 40, you should have a mammogram once and then every 2 years after that. There's a little bit of a difference in terms of the different organizations and their recommendations. The bottom line is this: have a mammogram and have it every year or every other year if you're about the age of 40, because you want to pick that cancer up because you know you can beat it. Women, this is time for us to be brave. When we say we're fighting breast cancer, it's not about wearing pink outfits and just looking good. We're sending a message. And the message is that screening for breast cancer saves lives. And we know why it saves lives. Because if we ignore it, if we're afraid to check, whether we like it or not, in the US, 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer. In Ghana and lots of different parts of Africa, it even increases to 1 in 5. 1 in 5 women will develop breast cancer. So whether we like it or not, we've got to come together and fight this together by screening for it. Yes, in my last video, I talked about the signs and symptoms. We even have self-examination. But at that stage, you really have decreased your chances of survival, because then you're going from 100% survival to 16%. So we really want to check for breast cancer even before we get there. These slides were prepared by Dr. Cynthia Owusu, a Ghanaian oncologist based in Ohio. She put the slide together showing you how early stage breast cancer had 100% survival, 98%, and then once it's gone to your liver and all these other places, survival is really 16%. Ladies, we're smarter than that. We can beat this. We don't want that to happen. And so I'm going to end this video by just reminding you a screening mammogram will save lives. Now, there are some people who have a family history of breast cancer. They have it in their parents or an auntie or their aunt. Several people have had breast cancer. At that stage, you should start talking to your doctor at the age of 30 and have not only a screening mammogram, but ultrasound as well. Then there are some people who receive radiation to their chest. They are an increased risk of breast cancer. Those women should start screening at the age of 25 with a breast MRI. So let's fight breast cancer. Go get your mammogram, take action, and then you can wear your pink boldly because you've already taken action. See you in my last video.